Hello ladies and gents, welcome to my chat. Today I've got two games to cover, and both of which will be hoping to answer the question or give you a bit of an idea about the main difference between camping and tactically outplaying your enemy. The difference between defensive play and just aimless camping at the back of the map. Now I think my water tanks volume has died, give me a second. There we go. So, the difference, for me at least, lies in intention, in whether you as a player have legitimate reason to think that what you're doing in the game is right for the game, and you're thinking, okay, I'm doing this because this is going to happen. Most of the time, camping is aimless. It is just, okay, I'll sit here because I sit here on your game, and occasionally my team YOLO in front of me and kill everything, and occasionally I get a good game because all of my team have died on that flank. And that's another thing to cover with camping. Do not camp, because what you're doing by camping on a flank is saying, okay, I don't care if we lose 3-4 tanks up there, I'll have a good game after that because the enemy will push in and I will kill them. That is camping, and you should not do it because it is always better to be part of the engagement that loses the flank than just a part of the futile defense that tries to wrap up after it, you know. Hello, just want to hop in and specify because what I say here is ridiculously liable to misinterpretation. Don't die on the flank with your team, but be up there shooting at them and then relocate back to defend later. That's fine, just don't be sat at the back waiting for that flank to die. Be up there, do something, fall back. Okay, we're good. Okay, game. If you can stop the flank from being lost in the first place by being up there, then you should absolutely do that. Now, let's talk about defensive play here. As you can see, I am in a top tier heavy tank. I'm in T57 Heavy with the highest base DPM on any tier 10 heavy tank. I am ridiculously overpowered. I have a 120mm autoloader with 4 shells. I am ridiculous. However, if we look at the team lists and try to balance them, as well as noticing that we've got 3 RT, what other things can we take from this? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when your team has that many TDs with that many big guns, it should imply to you that a defensive playstyle is the way to go. Because the enemy only have 1 TD, and you're not adequate with this amount of TDs. You are not skilled. Your team is not built for an offensive play, for attacking the enemy team. So you might want to think about playing more defensive until your team get an advantage, until the enemy attack into your team, die, and then you can push on the counter attack when the enemy is weak. As well as that, we know that the enemy mouse is in the platoon with the enemy object 140, so chances are that the enemy object 140 is going to be on the 9-0 line with the mouse as well. Also, the enemy have 2 mouses. They have a T10, since everyone could be playing over here as a heavy, IS-3, and what do we have? We have not one heavy apart from me and the mouse. The mouse is over there. So, as soon as I come to this flank, I know that going up there to fight it is suicide. Not just because of my TDs, the way my team is formed, but because there's 3 RT as well. And one of them is a CGC with the ability to lob shells all the way over ridiculous places because of its gun arc. So, going to that flank is just ridiculously ambitious and stupid, to be honest. And to a lesser experienced player, or to a lot of people, seeing what I'm doing here, this may be camping, but to me, this is not camping. This is tactically outplaying the enemy, because I know that should the enemy push, they will come into this open land, they will get shot by our TDs back here, as well as them getting hammered by RT as soon as they get into here. These 2 RT will slam them, as well as the T124 having flanking fire there, and the Tortoise being able to shoot, as well as he relocates back. we are anticipating the engagement here and knowing that it's all about knowing where on the map we have an advantage. But I know I've got a bit of time to spare before that does actually happen, so I'm ambitiously looking for shots on the Cent 7-1 while I wait patiently. And this does get difficult because you're always questioning yourself in a situation like this when you're not doing anything in a tier 10 heavy tank. You're thinking, oh, am I making a wrong play? Is my entire 1-2 flank about to be lost because I'm not on the 9-0 line? Am I still making the right play? But I still have confidence at this stage that what I am doing is the right play for my team, and that engaging up there would be a misplay that might afford our team to lose the game horribly. So it's just about waiting, because the thing about Lancashire is if the enemy attack over this open land that you see here, that has so much flanking fire to deal with, as well as the arty. So I'm looking for shots at IS-20 because I don't believe I'll be able to pen the mouse. And there's the red outline for you, should make it easier to see what we're getting at. And not penning a single one of our heat shells on the mouse there, but this is exactly what we wanted, and this is the difference between camping and defensive play. We were not camping here because we were simply waiting for the enemy to draw themselves into a bad position where they would get their asses kicked. These are two tier 10 heavy tanks, one tier 9 heavy tank, and they are in a terrible position where they are getting absolutely destroyed both by RT and our TDs. Our ISU is still alive at the back there. And look at the advantage that we've been given just by, look at that Tortoise who's going to be able to shoot in as well. This is just, it's perfect tactical play. And yep, T10's getting shot at the ass by the Tortoise. We're reloaded. Put out some more shells. And we've beaten that flank by camping or by tactical and defensive play. It's a matter of why you do it. It's a matter of why you sit in a certain situation. So I'll spot that mouse in the bushes there because I know, oh, we've got an ISU out in the corner. Now I can just go up there and be fairly proud of myself because we won the flank with help from our TDs who played defensively as they should have. We did so damn well on this flank, and the 215B is taunting them relentlessly in chat. I'll put in double speed at this stage, and the IS-20 bites it to the enemy arty. But yeah, it's about looking at what your team consists of and thinking, okay, how are the enemy going to lose this? At what position on the map do we have an advantage and a disadvantage? Due to the fact that the enemy had far more offensively minded tanks, it was the right play to play defensive and to let them attack, to let them have land and ground, because we knew that after that, it would afford us the ability to be able to kick their asses in a position that they had foolishly pushed into. Just to cover all areas, let's think about how the enemy could have outplayed that. So, as soon as they come around here, 704 in the back, which they dealt with, ISU was here, T57 Heavy was at the back, which they knew about by the time they got to here. 215 being around the corner. The only way they could have outplayed it was either by not pushing the flank at all and by all coming round here, which would have probably got them killed due to the TDs up on this flank. The only other way they could have outplayed it was to ignore the guys back here. Obviously in Mouses this would not be possible, but their objective should have been to get into these buildings, because that gives them cover from the enemy arty, from that hill over there, and from me there. So that's how they should have attacked. As it happens, Our Archie and our TDs just dealt too much damage when they just all died right here, clustered around the neck of our 215B. So, gentlemen, we're going to hop into another game with another example of camping versus defensive play. Alright, gentlemen, so here we are in the KV-13 on Cliff. I'm reminiscing about that Object 430 game the other day, but we're in the KV-13, which is an interesting vehicle because it has the hull armor of an IS, but with the mobility of medium tank, and it's not often seen because it only leads to tier 7 vehicles. It leads in tech tree to the IS and T43, which does make it kind of unique and fun to play for me. That said, this gameplay is not about the tank, it's about how we react to the fact that the enemy have 4 Archie and 5 TDs. So, let's explain what's going on here. Each team has 4 Archie. We have 3 birds in their platoon, so I know they're going to be able to lob shells into ridiculous places and just be shooting once every like 5 seconds or 4 seconds. A shell will go out from those birds towards the enemy. Now, we have IS-3s, T-32s, T-44s, T-69, that's fine, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 TDs as well. The enemy have mediums. They have a more mobile force. They've got the IS-59 pattern, CDC, Panther 88, Type 59, and then that big glut of TDs. So, we know that it's absolutely fruitless and pointless, and quite frankly dumb, to attack into their forces, because they have mediums that can just relocate into lines of fire support of their TDs, and our heavies would just get massacred by their TDs and their RT upon making a push. However, looking at the enemy team list, it's quite likely that those enemy mediums are going to make aggressive and silly plays in front of and out of the line of fire of their TDs. And at that point, it would be good for us, because our tank destroyers can work, our Archie can work, and so that's exactly the attitude we take to this game here. I am not going to do what I normally would do and progress to the middle of the map at E6, because I know that the enemy are most likely going to take E3, this position down here, with their mediums, because that's what medium tanks do, and we have no competitive mediums to oppose them. And as it happens, it's taken by a Yak Panther 2, but I am going to hold back in these bushes here, because such an advantage when you've got a team like this is vision. Vision for our Archie, vision for our TD, so I want to keep myself safe, I want to keep myself alive by just playing passively around here, because what I want, the ambition for this game, I want the enemy to have a disadvantage by attacking. I want to encourage them to come forward into a team like this, because I know that if we attack, we're at a disadvantage because of the consistency of the enemy team, because of the fact that they are TDs galore. And so, it's about passive play, about not losing health, about letting the enemy kind of have confidence that they shouldn't have. I guess it's about letting them have overconfidence. And it is hard, this playstyle, like I said in the T57 Heavy, it's hard to play tactically, because it's a game, you want damage, you want to have fun, you want to be shooting stuff, but if you want to start winning more games, I thoroughly recommend you start looking at games like this, and start thinking, okay, I don't need to have a lot of damage, I don't need to have a lot of kills. What I should focus on is playing right, and playing well, and playing correctly. This Type 59 has made a good maneuver. He's pushed out to this land, so that what will happen is if I push around this corner, I get shot by anyone there, and I get shot by any Archie that may be in the base, and I get shot by the Yak Panther 2, and anyone who's relocated to there, maybe the Panther 88, CDC, turn your pit over there, you know, same point. So, pushing around there is a no-go, and it's a good play for the Type 59 to get to this lock formation, because he can pour fire into the flanks of these guys if they are pushed back by the guys there. So, what to do now? Well, I know that I've got 3 Berts in the platoon on my team. So, vision, as I said. Now, I do have a quarrel with abandoning the high ground there. I didn't like it, but it's what I need to do to get into this position, because I do know that if I proxy spot this Yak-2 and this T57 from below the enemy team, that they are going to start getting harassed to hell by our Archie, and will slowly lose more and more health. So that's the objective here. You can see our Archie is already starting to work on the Yak-2, so I'm just yelling about under these guys, trying to get them proxy spotted, trying to get our Archie singing. You can see the birds focusing up on the T59 there. So I'm going to pull forward and light him up again. And this is just playing for my team. And this is what I say about not having a lot of damage, not getting a lot of kills. This is not about your performance, it's about what you're doing for your team. Bird takes a penning shell from, I believe, an FV-24 there with 450 Alpha. And I see that the Yak-2 has relocated from that position. That does mean that I can relocate back onto the high ground because he's no longer overwatching this area. So I'm relocating because the T59, obviously feeling pressured in that position, has pushed up and is pulling a flanking fire into our team. And so I want to go and see what I can do about that, because I think he's in cover from the birds. Now, what I do realise is that the enemy Ramato Borsig just killed our T69, and T69 is there. So what does that tell us? Well, that tells us that the Ramato Borsig is somewhere around this location. So that does encourage me to play more defensively, because we know that the enemy have got Ramato Borsig in this position. As it happens, he gets spotted, but it's good awareness to know that anyway. And we start poking out and harassing the enemy here, and that is why you have the hull armor of an IS in your KV-13 bouncing a shell from the Ramato Borsig there. And I had no idea that I had elected to fire high explosive at this point in time. You see my Dystonia costing me shells, but yeah, I've loaded high explosive. I didn't actually mean to, although you might think I loaded HE for Borsig. Nope. Complete accident, because I would not be firing HE. Wow. That's one dead T59. And you can see that it has worked exactly as planned. By playing so defensively from our point of view, we allowed the enemy to take positions inland, just as we did in that T57 Heavy game, that weren't serving their team lineup. They had a load of TDs and a load of mediums. What they should have done was pushed it slowly, was ensure that they got maybe 1-2 kills at each stage in their engagement when they pushed up aggressively. They should have made sure that with this position, they got 2 kills here. With this position, they got 2 kills and sucked us back and played very carefully and slowly towards their RT support, but they didn't. They played aggressively, and we were able to outplay them simply by getting them spotted and by recognising that they were in bad positions. And at this stage, it's basically all about, can I get any more damage out of this game? Yak-2, I believe, sliding down the hill there, is he? Oh no, he's still perched on the edge. But yeah, let's put this in double speed, see what we can get at the end of this game. And what I will say is that I hope this gameplay has been helpful. As I said while playing this game live, sometimes I really hate playing well. Like with that T57 Heavy game, I would have probably got more damage and more XP if I had yellowed the enemy team. If I had been up there fighting the mouse and fighting the RP, I would have been able to put out 2-3 clips before I got hammered and died by the enemy Archie. But we won the game, and our thoughts and our maneuvers and our plans were crucial to that. And that's something that you can always be proud of, no matter how much damage or how many kills you get in a game. if you are thinking, because we played like this, because I did this, our team was able to win the game, that is something you should be proud of and something you should look to do in every game you play. You should look to, at the end of it, be saying, okay, because I took this attitude, because I did this exact thing, it helped our team come closer to that victory. You know, that's a good attitude to play with. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure having you as always, and until next time, farewell. You like that?
Right, mother.
That joke really sucks. How are you? I can see the stars around your anus. Yeah, lol. Oh, come on!
We got all the kills, guys.
15 kill game incoming!
Oh,
dude!
Well done,
Dude!